Hi everyone, Christine here at Christine's Craft Table. Today I'd like to share with you a whole bunch of stuff, do a little bit of catch up. I'll put some chapters in the description box in case you want to skip ahead. Or I guess you can do that if you look along the bottom of the video. Before I go any further, I'd like to welcome some new subscribers. We have Renee Guy, Karen Shields, Sonia Hook, Svetlana Shukailo, Callister Martinez, Kristalina Hot, Iris Velez, Tina Anna, Dinky Crafts Jennifer, Art with Connie, Mirasabel Monda, Celeste Maisel, Virginia Selman, Deverba Ortiz, Molly Martin, Mary Stevenson, Esther Collins, Randa Kazim, Cheryl Emole, Darlene Like, The Bad Editor, Betty L.M., Linda Arkenal, Sherry Blair, Juder Cab, Arash Nimsara, and Tim Borghese. And please forgive me if I mispronounced anybody's name. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you found us. So, I saw some people are doing Vlogust, and it sounded like fun. There is one particular make-along or crochet-along. Actually, I guess it involves knitting too. Anyway, that's going on with the Alaskan crafter, Jan, and Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming, Laura. And they are doing a make-along for the Boggy Creek Blanket Brigade to get a group of us together to make one particular blanket. And it's called the Cat's Meow. And I'll show you a little picture of the graph. It's a graph blanket. So anyway, they are doing a daily update on their progress, and I thought, well, that's fun and it's helpful. And I saw that Charm Granny is also doing one, so I thought I'd jump on the wagon and try and do this as well. Today's August 2nd, so I'm a day behind, so this will be a 2-day catch-up. And the future ones won't be as long as today's because I won't have as much to talk about. But I'll show you my progress so far. It's not much. I have 4 rows done. And there you go. So it doesn't look like much yet, but stay tuned because it will. It's kind of fun, kind of challenging. And let's see, I have done tons of frogging on this. First, you had to do a foundation row of the knotted a half double crochet foundation row, and that took some doing to get the quantities right and to practice my foundation crocheting. And that was actually a good exercise because I need to do more of these. It gives you a foundation row that is stretchy, which helps your blanket to lay correctly. And I also had to do 2 different gauges to figure out what hook to use because the pattern provides a hook size, but the pattern dimensions were just barely within the Boggy Creek measurement requirements, so we have to be real careful that we don't go over the inches allowed. So they recommended a 5.5 millimeter hook with your 4-weight yarn, and I ended up with the 4 millimeter to get the 4x4 gauge that was required to end up with the right dimensions for the blanket. So that was fun. Practice my gauge swatches. And getting the colors to mesh correctly was also a challenge because I guess I don't do enough changing colors But I figured that out finally. I humbled myself and I went and watched the video that she provides a link to in the pattern, where she demonstrates very clearly the best way to change colors to get a nice clean transition. So I'm real thankful for that. I rely heavily on videos. And so this is kind of outside the box for me because this is a written pattern only. So seeing everybody's comments and videos and tips is really helpful to me because I need them. Let's see, what else? Another tip, I am counting every section as I do it to make sure I have the right number. And then I'm also counting the row at the end of the whole row, because you've always got to have 110 stitches, and obviously the number counts per section will change as we work out the shape of the kitty. So let's see, what else? You have to concentrate. This is not a mindless project. At first it seemed like it because it's just the one stitch, the knotted half double crochet throughout. But I found if my mind wanders, I tend to just revert back to the regular half double crochet sometimes, or I forget to start in the stitch that I ended in. So you can't check out completely as you work on this. It's not like working a single crochet project, not at all. So yeah, that's it. And these are the colors that I chose. And I'll try and hold them up all together. I did some, sorry about that, did some stash busting and chose pretty much every shade of pink that I could find. And my contrasting color is, well, you probably saw it in my sample, but it's this Lion Brand Pound of Love in Antique White. So, as you can see, these will be all my pinks in stripes, and then this white section will be the ivory color. So we'll see how that works out. I'm excited. This, in case you didn't notice, you're carrying along 4 pieces or 4 balls of yarn basically the whole time. So I've got yarn balls everywhere. I've got 2 on my winder and 2 in a bowl that alternate. And try not to get it all tangled. I think the fancier way to do it is to, wind up some bobbins so you have all the same size little bobbins you're working off of. But I just decided to rough it a little bit because I'm going to be changing colors of pink constantly anyway as I run out of the different yarns that I pulled. So yeah, it's an adventure. So stay tuned and I will show you my progress either daily or every couple days, best I can do. And what else am I working on? Oh, first, big thank you to the Lord, because if you caught the short I posted yesterday, I had a little accident with my hand and wasn't able to crochet for several hours yesterday, and I thought it might be several days, but thankfully I am totally recovered and oh, so thankful for that. I heated up some water to make some tea with some dried lemongrass that I got from my dad, and so I just heat it in a pan, boil it, and then I pour it into a cup. Well, I do it very haphazardly, and I paid for that because I just take my cup in one hand and I take the pan and I dump some of the brewed tea in there. But the little sticks of lemongrass stay in there because usually a pan will last me 2 days. And I just heat it up again in the pan to have the second cup. Well, those little sticks of lemongrass got in the way and the water sloshed all over my hand, boiling hot, and that was not fun. So immediately I've got it under running water, called my husband, he came over and fixed a bowl of cold water for me to keep my hand in as long as I possibly could. Ice water. Later I saw they say don't use ice water, just use cold running water. But right now in Kentucky, our cold running water is not that cold. So anyway, did that for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then we wrapped it and put a scald type pad on it like you get in the emergency kit. It was like coated with some kind of gel. It was very moist, and so we put that on it, wrapped it up. There's a picture in the short that I posted, and I just left that on for the whole day and night. And this morning when I unwrapped it, thank the Lord for his mercy, not a sign of anything. I thought at least I'd have a burn mark, but nothing. And the hand feels great, the skin feels great, and I'm just so thankful. I was even crocheting last night on this cat's Meow blanket with my big bandage on because my fingers were still peeking out. But I'm just so thankful that that was not much worse than it could have been, and I will not be doing that anymore. Don't take a pan of water and dump it over into a cup. Use something else to get that water out, or figure out another way. My husband just wants me to stick to the Keurig now. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I'm so happy to have the full use of my hand. Okay. My monthly Makealongs. I finally got caught up for July. It took me till the very end of the month. I am participating in a crochet along with Jayda InStitches, and she's doing Granny's Magical Cupboard. It's a blanket all year long. She gives us these granny square patterns, and we make them with the colors of yarn that we chose, and at the end of the year we'll put them together in a blanket. So this is this month's, and I love the pattern. It's called the Spiked Granny Square, and it looks much more difficult than it is, and I'm thankful for that. And it gives the square a nice drape too. It's not bulky or too stiff. Sometimes the stitches are so complicated that the square comes out pretty stiff, but look at how pretty that is. Oh, I love these. There's another one. And lastly, so I'm real happy with this month and excited to put that blanket together at the end of the year with all these wonderful colors. And yeah. And the other make-along I'm participating in every month is Judy's Creations in Crochet, where she gives us the picture of a tropical bird for our inspiration, and then we make a project. And if you've been following me, you know I'm working on another granny square project, but these are large. This is about a 10 by 10 inch square. The magical cupboards are, I think these are like 6 or 7 inches. They're smaller, but this is 10, and I'm just doing one square per month. And so I will add a picture of the bird so you can see what my inspiration was, but I'm happy with that. The pattern's called The Big Beautiful Flower, and it's another pattern by Adore Kriya Crochet. I'll put links to anybody I mention or patterns I mention in the description box if you're interested in checking them out. But I was real happy with this. So that was Judy's Creations in Crochet, her 2024 Meow. And what else? There's more. I finished my BOD Crochet Shawl along. Finally, I got it blocked and it is done. I'm going to post a video with all the details and some comments on the pattern and the yarn, but here's a peek at my completed shawl, and it's just beautiful. The blocking brought out the picots, of course, and just the pretty stitch patterns. So I'm really happy with this. The shawl is a little bit smaller than I anticipated. I think one of the reasons is because I used a sport weight and she used a DK weight. So my shawl came out a little bit smaller. So I'm sure I was using a smaller hook as well. And yeah, so it's a good size for a normal size person. Maybe anybody from a large down to a petite, but I'm a 3X, so it doesn't give me enough coverage on my shoulders that I would like. So I will be gifting that to someone, I think. I've already got her in mind. She's a great prayer warrior, so I think this would make a nice shawl for her, prayer shawl. Did you see those cute little flowers? Beautiful design. Thank you so much, Crystal at BOD Crochet, who did that for us. One more thing I am participating in is Judy again, Judy's Creations in Crochet. She's doing a stitch sampler crochet along, and she's giving us she's teaching, doing tutorials on 6 different crochet stitches, and then we can do a project and use at least 4 of the 6 stitches, and then at the end, I think it's sometime in September, she has a deadline. We can send her pictures of our completed projects, and she'll have a drawing for a prize, I think. So this is the triad stitch. I think I did a short on that. Very pretty. And I'm using this bright Caron Simply Soft yarn so I can make a Boggy Creek blanket out of mine. And this is I think it's called a double cross stitch or something. They're double crochets that are crossed over every 3rd one. Very pretty. And I think I forgot the name of this one. It escapes me. That's the first stitch that she did. She's actually, I think at this point, already done all 6 stitches, but I'm a little bit behind. And I've only made 2 of each, and I need to make 3. And so, yeah, I think I'll have 12 at the end, and that should be big enough to get me to the Boggy Creek blanket size. So that is why I chose those bright colors. I need some more yellow in there, obviously. And then I'll join them with white. So I think that'll be pretty. That's all I have for you today. So, wasn't too long. I will hopefully see you tomorrow. And thanks for watching.